A close friend of mine, he was going through a lot of bad paths in life, to the point where everybody thought he was never going to achieve anything. This person was rude to his mom, mean to his friends, and would fail almost every class. But mainly, it was because he was mad at life for giving him such a difficult time. I slowly started to realize why he acted the way he did, and I wanted to be there for when he turned his life around. And I was. It was not easy at first because he thought I was like everybody else, a one-time stop, who would give up just as easily as everybody else did. So he gave me a hard time, talked bad about me, and would say hurtful things, but I was there through every breakdown. How many of us have said hurtful things to a parent, a sibling, or friends? How many have regretted those words? How many have had a person stay by your side even though there's been tension between the two of you? How many have been the person on the receiving end, the one being stepped on? Well, I deal with the difficulty of being stepped on too, but I would say no one's perfect, but I too have been on both sides. I've been the person who steps on and the person who gets stepped on. I've been called a pushover, someone who lets people step over me, that I never stand up for myself, and that I let people take advantage of me. And the one that stuck to me the most has been, "You're like a doormat." And they're right, but I'm proud of that. Although most people think that a doormat is just like the way Merriam-Webster describes it, one that submits without protest to abuse or indignities, this seems like a negative thing because it describes it as someone who gets stepped on, wiped, even abused. But what if I tell you there's benefits to being a doormat? I get to see why a person acts the way they do. I get to see the imperfection. In a way, I also come to a realization for when I do the same to people. I get to see them grow, overcome obstacles. I get to see them happy. Yes, they are throwing hurtful things towards me because of the heat of the moment, but I try not to let those words get to me, even though sometimes it is difficult. For example, he was independent and took pride in that. So he hated to seek out for help, but I would always offer because that's just what friends do. Isn't that what you would want someone to do for you? Anyways, it took him a while to accept my help, but he did. He started to get better grades, learn more about life, like caring for those who are there for you. Now he's set to graduate, go to college, and fulfill his dreams. And I couldn't be prouder. He's appreciative of having me in the moment he did because all he needed was that one friend to support him. Before, he used to have temporary friendships, and now he has learned the value of them and has even dealt with people that gave him the same hard time that he gave to me. This was my first time helping someone out. I started to help others too, many dealing with family issues, depression, and anxiety. They all have had a hard time expressing their emotions and say or do things that are hurtful at times. And it does hurt, and I have let it get to me, but aren't we all humans with feelings? Many people wonder why I stay. Throughout all the obstacles, throughout all the stepping over that I get from people. To be completely honest, I ask myself that too. Why do I stay? But I always remember there is no one that is perfect and that everyone is going through things. There is a reasoning behind their actions, and I want to be there, and I never want to be there to regret what would have happened if I was there, so I stay. Until I know that everyone's in a place where they're more stable rather than rocky. Also, it helps to know that maybe I'm not changing the whole world, but I'm changing one person at a time. which in the end makes me think being a doormat doesn't just welcome these stepping marks or prints, but it also builds upon a doorway to a new beginning. And who doesn't like a new beginning?